Oh my God. Question is, what should I do with this car? Should I continue to drive it, review it, put miles on it? Or, since this is a large milestone for the ST, it's only fair that we totally clean the entire car to get some glam shots, and that way she's feeling good for one of her big milestone interviews. But yeah, it's been coming up on 4 years now that I've owned this Focus ST. I bought it new back in the November of 2015. So today we are going to go over exterior, interior, engine, my future plans on the ST, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this video. But first, let's get it cleaned up. So the ST is all cleaned up, minus the wheels. I freaking forgot the brush in my apartment, so I'm gonna have to clean those up in a little bit. But I used a waterless wash from Chemical Guys that I got. Honestly, I don't recommend it. I think the sprayer that it all comes with is junk, so as soon as I'm done with it, I'll probably either throw it away or give it away. I think the best one to get out there is Frothy from Ammo, ammonyc.com. They have the best stuff out there. I really like it. But yeah, 60,000 miles, and this car just looks, I mean, it still looks great. Now, the camera's not picking it up. There is some marring on the paint that I'm gonna need to get corrected. Probably needs a stage 1 or stage 2 paint correction. Kind of unfortunate. Also, the headlights, they just have some grit on them, so I can just get the headlights refinished. We'll be all good there. Future plans for the ST. I just recently purchased an M2, so check the card at the top of your screen. You can take a look at my M2. But one of the things about owning the M2 and owning a luxury car, luxury performance car, is how well the suspension is done. Now, one thing I've always complimented this car on is for its suspension. I don't think it's too firm. I don't think it's too soft. I think it's just right. Never had an issue. Now driving my M2, that suspension is very, very stiff, but it's a little more, it's just slightly better damped, and I think getting coilovers all around on this car would just be a massive upgrade. Not necessarily to lower the car anymore. I think the ride height is totally fine, but maybe a ½ inch, I don't know. That's not really what I'm worried about. It's more the performance of the springs and how the car would feel and handle with even better suspension components. So I think that could be a possible upgrade. Also, the front mount intercooler needs to happen. That's well overdue. It's kind of funny, that's like one of the first upgrades people do. It'll be one of my last upgrades. The other thing, now that this is a secondary car, I think I'm going to do a weight reduction. So I'm going to take everything out of the car, including the back seats. Just totally strip everything out that's unnecessary and see how much weight I can shed in the ST. I think that'll be interesting to see if the car feels much different. Taking out the spare tire, taking out the back seat bench. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so taking out this bench, I'll unbolt everything, take out this, take out the spare tire. I feel like that'll save about 60 pounds. And obviously when I do that video, I'll weigh it. But starting at the end of November, I will have a 2-car garage. So we will be able to do all kinds of stuff, rip the car apart, detail it more, and upgrade it. So I think that's going to be really exciting, because right now I don't really have a place to store it. Like if I rip the seats out, I'd have to put them like in bed with me. So I think that'll be fun. Wheel upgrade, maybe. I feel like that would have to be a sponsored thing, because I honestly really like these wheels. And to get OEM spec wheels with the strength and durability that they have, you have to pay a lot of money, several $1,000s. A lot of people spending money on wheels are paying like, you know, $300 or $400 a wheel. A good wheel probably starts at $700 or $800, a well-built wheel. That's where we're at right now, but enough talking. I know you guys like to see the ST. I try to put the camera a little less on me and more on the car, but let's go for a ride. Let's take it for a spin, and so we can talk about driving dynamics, because that's really what this car is all about. And even though I do have a car that is rear wheel drive, manual transmission, quicker with automatic rev match on the downshifts, this car still is fun. I look forward to getting in it. I love the sound of it. I love everything about it still. So we're gonna get in the car, drive, and talk about that. So 60,000 miles, and I haven't even replaced brake pads, clutch plates, or anything like that. So in that sense, it feels solid. Now, I can definitely feel some wear in the brake pedal travel. I don't know if that has to do with me needing to change the fluid, or if the brakes need adjusted because of the wear that's happened on them. I remember in my Honda, at the 30,000 mile review, they didn't replace the pads, but they adjusted them, and they felt much more sensitive. There's things like that that I probably need to get done soon, but I also don't exactly know what the wear is on them. The responsiveness, though, of this car is so good. The low-end torque that I get from having this Ford Performance calibration, it's really changed the car. A lot of people say, oh, that calibration's a joke and all this stuff. But again, I wanted to go for something that was done by the factory. Just because I need to drive this car on a daily basis and it needs to be reliable. I couldn't afford to have something that goes down when I need it for my job. But it's such a nimble car. You begin to appreciate, and I'm not saying that this is a light car, because the Civic Type R is about 3,000 pounds. I think this is about 3,200 or 3,300 pounds. I don't really have a way of weighing it. If anyone knows how I can weigh this car in Phoenix, I'm open to listening. It feels nimble, it feels light, the steering feels excellent through turns like this, even though I'm not going at a great pace. It feels nice going through these banked, very tight and technical turns. You know, one false move here and you go off right into the side of the canyon. So you have to have a car that is able to switch back quickly and be able to be reliable. And I've taken it up this road plenty of times, and it never gets old. I mean, I've had the car, again, 60,000 miles, and I'm still having a lot of fun in it. Now, things like the calibration help, the exhaust helps, having the upgraded rear motor mount helps. All the little things that I've done to the car really help make me continue to love it. So those are all upgrades that I think are worth doing. Now, people have asked me, you know, why don't you go big turbo? Why don't you do all this stuff? And now that I have a secondary car, I guess I could do that, but that really throws off the balance of the car. You're looking at probably $10,000 in upgrades to get it where it needs to be. That's getting wider tires, getting better suspension, getting better brakes. You need to have everything in check to be able to handle that power. I don't like doing things that are half-assed. I like it to be a complete package. Intercooler, I mean, it would be close to 10 grand, and then with all the custom tuning you would have to do, I think it would just get out of hand, and then it would break because it's not been factory tested. There's just so many things that, to me, I would much rather, like what I did, I bought the M2. So, you know, built and bought and all that stuff. I mean, I totally get it. I can appreciate someone that goes and builds their car like crazy. But this isn't the car. I just think this car is so good out of the package that I wouldn't want to change it drastically. I just appreciate the balance that it comes with. I hope there's not too much wind noise here. I was just giving everyone a little bit of a head start. Create some room. Exhaust sounds so nice. About 4,000 RPMs in second gear right now. Another nice thing about this tune is you don't have to like be mashing the gas pedal. Feel that inside wheel slipping. to get the power. It has so much torque far down low in the power band. You really, I mean, mashing it is not much different than half throttle. I've actually made a video talking about that, but just true. It makes the car feel way more powerful than it actually is because of that. You know, a lot of cars having that linear power band. This now is a very early peak torque power band. It's punchy. The tires, I think I've had them for over 20, close to 30,000 miles. No, 20, maybe 25,000 miles. The Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s. They've been great as a daily driver tire, and also for going on canyon runs like this. Feeling a little slip right now. They had like 7/32 tread, which is basically a new tire after close to 20,000 miles. So it's been great. But yeah, I think having a coilovers for a road like this would make this car even better. Brakes feel good. They feel responsive. It'd be nice to have them be a little more punchy. I think they're 2-piston up front, single piston in the back. Don't quote me on that, I haven't looked it up. Be interesting to do big brakes on this car. Honestly, if I was gonna do brakes, it would be because they look cool, not necessarily because I need the function. I think there's plenty of power. When I drove my buddy's RS on this road, I know the first thing I noticed is when I got on the brakes, that car was like absolutely coming to a stop. There was no like fading into it. It was like, boom, the brakes are on. So that's a big difference between the ST and the RS, but the RS needs it for how much faster it is. God damn it, don't go right. Probably one of my favorite features on the M2 is the auto rev match on the downshifts. You just feel like a champion going down through the gears. It's amazing. I didn't think I would like that, but I do wish this would have it. Type R has it, Veloster N has it, and it's just an amazing feature. I don't think there's a reason you should hate it. I do think there should be an easy on-off switch, which the M2 doesn't have, but the N does have. Miles per gallon in this thing, I've been getting like, usually it falls to around 27. Highway, it'll go to right around 30. Spec sheet of the car, it says 31. I can't say that I have ever gotten 31. But out west, the speed limits are so high that you're not going to get optimum efficiency. The question is, what should I do with this car? Should I continue to drive it, review it, put miles on it, or just save my money and get something like a Type R to replace it, or Veloster N? I don't know. I am probably going to get the Tesla Model Y though for my wife, because that car is going to be amazing. Do it, don't do it, don't do it. Yes, 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 yes. Ow, you can usually get air. Oh my God. Oh my God, I literally would jump the whole mountain in my M2 because it can accelerate a lot quicker. Why is that fun? I wish I knew. Basically staying in second gear in these turns, it's very tight. Inside tire likes to pick in these turns. So I'm like, that inside tire, that's where a limited slip differential would keep you a lot more planted. And this doesn't have that, it's an open diff, so. You just become a little undone through those off-camber turns. And a diff would help, but again, it's like a $1,500 job to get that all. First the part's $1,000, then to get installation and everything. And for that, because of how tough that installation is, I would only take it to Mound Tune out in California. I don't know another tuner around here that I trust to do it. I'm sure there is one, I just don't know of them. Car rotates nicely though. See, I think that's the crazy thing. I was only going 33 there, but I'm still having a ton of fun. So I thought I'd end this video on the top of South Mountain. It's just an absolutely beautiful view up here of the Phoenix Valley, of Phoenix out that way, and that's Camelback Mountain. But this is where we're going to end the 60,000 mile review on the ST. Part of the reason this car got overshadowed was because of the hype of the RS coming to the United States for the first time. That RS also was a worldwide platform, so it was going to be popular all over the place, and because of that, the popularity of the ST kind of fell off. That's why I continued to make these videos and talk about how great the car was, because I didn't want it to be overlooked and lost. And I think people, because of the price of these cars, are starting to realize what a bargain it is at this point. 252 horsepower stock, 270 foot-pounds of torque. It's been proven as a reliable engine, just need to maintain it properly. Again, a lot of the issues that people get are with tuning. With more power comes more risk, and if that's worth it to you, and go ahead and do it. I'm not going to tell you no. Just been a really fun car to drive. I have the ST3 package, so the black Smokestorm Recaro seats, they really keep you in place, especially on roads like I just came up. That also comes with the carbon fiber shift knob, which if you don't have that, you should buy it aftermarket, because the weighting of it, the feel of it is amazing. If you're worried about it getting hot in the summer, for some reason it doesn't. I live in Phoenix, it gets up to 120 in June here, and for some reason it does not get as hot as you think it would. Carbon fiber e-brake, carbon fiber trim here along the door panels, and then the carbon fiber along the gauge cluster. The gauge cluster is also I don't know, it's useful to a point. You know, if you want to see about how much boost you're pulling, fine. It's more of a looks thing, but I think it looks great. The temperature gauge works great for the oil temperature. One of the things you can do to protect any turbo car that you have is making sure the car is properly heated up before getting on it. That's where people, basically, if your engine is not lubricated properly, with that can come damage from, you know, getting on it. Now, there are electronics in place to help protect you from that, so you don't have to worry too much, but I always wait till it's fully warmed up and ready to go. But what I will say is in the M2 that I have, it doesn't have a cluster like this, so I have to go in a screen in the center stack and actually click over to see if it's ready to go. So it's nice that it's just right there, always in your face, good to go. Quick look at the exhaust tips. I just need to clean those up a little bit. If you're looking for an exhaust that you can daily drive with, that's 100% the one to go with. It's Ford Performance. It's actually a Borla exhaust that Ford took and OEM'd themselves, so I think it sounds great, but it also doesn't drone. So it has like a factory finish on it, and it gets the job done. But yeah, this needs to be all removed. The active grille shutters, or AGS, I always see them open. I've seen kind of mixed reviews on them online. I don't know how well they actually work. It's for the engine to heat up quicker in the winter. For me here, it's hot anyways, so you don't really need to do that. So I'll probably be getting rid of that, upgrading the intercooler and all that stuff. But you can see there's definitely some wear along the hood. And yeah, that's pretty much unfixable. That's down to the metal. You can touch it up, but it never actually looks that good. If anything, what I'm going to have done is have them remove the front bumper, totally sand it down, repaint it, and then put paint protection film on it. I've also thought of getting the entire hood done like that, maybe wrapping the car. I don't know. There's lots of options I have. I just don't know exactly what I want to do yet. So Thank you for watching. If you're still with me in the video, like, subscribe to the channel. I will be continuing to make ST content and then M2 content, and I have plenty of reviews coming up soon. So thanks for the support, and we'll see you next time.